Yes, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to share with you an interesting theory regarding Bitcoin, major Metaverse news, lower cap altcoin news, and much more. If you're interested in making money with cryptocurrency, click subscribe right now, join the team. We drop a video every single day demystifying this cryptocurrency market. Let's jump in. Starting with the breaking news of the day, MicroStrategy has just purchased another 1,914 Bitcoin. Now they hold almost $6 billion in crypto, specifically Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor will not let the Bitcoin price drop any lower, at least if he can help it. And we know this to be true because MicroStrategy had to disclose with the US SEC. According to a Thursday filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, MicroStrategy purchased this almost 2,000 Bitcoin between December 9th and December 29th. So for pretty much this last whole month, they have been accumulating. And just for some perspective on that, looking at Bitcoin's price chart to see exactly where MicroStrategy purchased these Bitcoins, pretty much in these last 3 to 4-ish weekly candles. Interesting. So the bulls and the bears are fighting. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Seriously, I want to hear your take. Comment down below. So next up, how has this crypto market changed? Or in other words, what is this Bitcoin theory that may shed some insight into price projections into 2022? In this about 2-minute clip, listen to Anthony Pompliano on CNBC, number 1, sharing that he is now starting to believe in lengthening cycles. I think somebody may have watched a recent interview going over the data, link down below. But then Pomp goes on to speculate that the Bitcoin price may be showing some correlation to the 10-year treasury yield because they're both quote-unquote risk-off assets. That's the theory. Listen to this 2-minute clip. Watch this.
I'm assuming you're a bull in terms of Bitcoin price action in 2022, Anthony. So I'm wondering, A, where you think Bitcoin is headed in 2022 and what you think the biggest catalyst is going to be of the ones that you named. I mean, is it going to be more corporate adoption? Is it going to be more nation states adopting Bitcoin as currency?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things. So back in 2019, I had basically said, look, I think Bitcoin's going to hit 100K by the end of 2021. And really the thesis was simple. It was, look, we're going to get the halving in 2020. 18 months later, usually we see some sort of blow off top. We didn't really get the blow off top. So for 2.5 years, called for a 10x, we got about a 7x, which I think was a little surprising. One of the things I'm watching, though, is that 18-month time frame may be off. We may actually be seeing longer bull markets now rather than kind of those 18 months one that we've seen before. Time will tell. Hindsight will be kind of 2020 on that. But I think that's one thing to watch. The other thing that I'm watching right now, and I don't think we have enough data yet, but over the last couple of weeks, I've seen a couple of analysts talking about this idea that Bitcoin's price is actually tracking correlated to the 10-year treasury yield. And so now you would think that most risk assets, as the interest rates get raised, we should see risk assets actually sell off, right? If you go all the way back to the 99 dot-com bubble, a lot of people would point to interest rates being a key factor for kind of popping that bubble. But if Bitcoin's going to actually trade alongside it, again, we do need more data. But if that is true, in some crazy way, raising interest rates could be bullish for Bitcoin. Now, haven't had enough time to see enough data nor think through enough of why that may be. But I do think that's something that investors probably aren't thinking about right now. And it would go counter to the narrative of what we've seen in terms of some of the macro thoughts. Again, let's wait to see what data happens here. But if the Fed does raise interest rates and we continue to see Bitcoin's kind of price track that treasury yield, that'd be very interesting. And I think a surprise to many people in the market.
Yeah.
All right. Give me your thoughts on this down below. Do you put credence into this theory? Me personally, I'm not really sold on this yet. I, like Pomp, do need to see more data, I guess. But just always interesting to hear the type of crypto conversation happening in the mainstream media today. I'll keep you updated. Okay, moving forward, let's talk about the Metaverse, starting with Sandbox. The Sandbox COO is now on record that he views the Ethereum Metaverse game, meaning Sandbox, as a digital nation. So in a recent interview discussing where Sandbox goes next after its alpha release, he's now saying that the Sandbox Metaverse is like a nation state. The co-founder says that it's validating to see his team's idea for a community-owned, user-customizable online game world embraced by more people. And while the game isn't fully open to the public just yet, People are buying and selling land parcels in anticipation of building upon them. So actually, I'm going to play you this clip without sound. I always think it's really cool to see the visuals as I read you this direct quote from the co-founder. Boom, here it is, here's Sandbox. Every day, the map is different. There are new landowners and new communities that come and decide to build things next to each other. I feel like it's a digital nation, living and breathing. And that's why it's exciting. It's culturally rich, it's global, and it's accessible. What a time to be alive. So the Sandbox Metaverse making moves. And next up, DECENTRALAND also making moves. New Year's Eve party comes to the Metaverse as Times Square building owner enters DECENTRALAND. So this was by prominent real estate firm in the real world called Jamestown, has just snatched up 170 parcels of land and is hosting a virtual New Year's party. So just like people watch the ball drop in the real world, this is happening now in DECENTRALAND as well. Jamestown, the owner of One Times Square, is recreating the 26-story tower at the heart of New York's New Year's Eve ball drop in DECENTRALAND. The company announced the plan Wednesday as a partnership with the digital currency group, the longtime DECENTRALAND backer, with major holdings in the platform's mana and land tokens. And why now? Why are they choosing to recreate this, build this now? It comes at a time when the real Times Square ball drop will be limited to only 15,000 socially distanced and fully vaccinated attendees due to the rise in pandemic cases. The real event in New York, typically hosts 58,000 people and is watched by many, many more on TV. So I guess if New York is limiting attendance in the real world, DECENTRALAND is saying, hey, we'll just build this in our metaverse. And this event will also include the unveiling of the game's first high-rise building. Wow, so this will also be the first skyscraper built in DECENTRALAND. Pretty cool. Next up, let's talk about Polygon MATIC. Polygon quietly patches up a vulnerability that put $24 billion in MATIC tokens at risk. So here are the details. A critical vulnerability that risked $24 billion in user funds was quietly patched earlier this month, we're just finding out about it now, by developers at Polygon, though not before one attacker was able to steal $1.8 million in Polygon's MATIC token. So good news right off the bat is this exploit was fixed, so it's all good, and here's how it was discovered. The exploit was shared by white hat hackers on bug bounty platform ImmuneFi on December 3rd. An upgrade was then initiated within 48 hours, and in a blog post Wednesday, the Polygon team explained that they chose not to reveal the incident until it was all patched. So I guess thank goodness for this white hat bug bounty program. That's how they found it. So, whoops. So good thing they had it. And in terms of the $1.8 million that were stolen, one hacker did succeed. The quick fix hard fork didn't come soon enough to prevent one malicious hacker from using the exploit to steal over 800,000 MATIC, then worth about 1.8 million, before the patch was instituted, a loss that Polygon Foundation said it would cover. Okay, I like that the Polygon Foundation is covering it. I like how they did have a bug bounty program, like I said, and I guess the lesson for you and me is, this is tech. This is innovation happening in real time, so just stay vigilant and never invest more than you're willing to lose and expect anything. Next piece of lower cap altcoin news for Swipe. Binance to finalize the acquisition of Swipe, paving the way for the CEO of Swipe's exit. And Swipe is a crypto payments project company. It's like a crypto.com in a sense because they have their own crypto rewards credit card or debit card. But Binance has always been a major stakeholder in the company. The exchange acquired a major stake in Swipe back in July of 2020. So this has always been a Binance-backed project. Now though, Binance seems to be taking over the whole thing. Announced Thursday that Binance will acquire the remaining outstanding shares of Swipe, which is a prominent crypto Visa provider. This means that users of Binance will be able to spend their coins at over 70 million locations worldwide as a result of this acquisition. Interesting. So this is major competition to Crypto.com/other major crypto payment companies. And of course, like I mentioned, Swipe's current CEO will step down once the acquisition is finalized. And that is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow. Gonna be a great final few days of 2021. See you tomorrow.